Welcome. Hello, here's Corey from the team Empathic Way Europe in behalf of the week Time for Empathy, which is starting on Sunday, the 7th of March and is going until the 13th of March. And today I have the honor and the pleasure to introduce you to Gabriel. I know him for some time now already. We have done lots of dyad work together, and and he already joined and was proposing a workshop last year for Time for Empathy. So thank you for offering again and for your proposal again this year. It's for sure a gift to have you on the team. And I would love to introduce you and that you share some words. What is your heart calling when you share NVC, and what is your intention?
Thank you so much for having me, Corey. It's so great to be in this space and to be able to come and to offer and to receive all what is there. I have been learning and practicing NVC for around 5 years. And just as I met with NVC, and actually it was in an empathy group where I first got to practice, which is very close to the core of what we do. It immediately touched me that there's some core beliefs or some core insights, some hunches that I had as a very young person about how we are to relate with each other and how we can be there for one another, and how we can have some guidance in our lives that was there with me when I was very young, and then got more and more kind of forgotten. And so it was like coming home in a way. And I work with communications today. I have a background as a journalist, as a university teacher, but I also just started into doing my own trainings, my own courses, and it's started out as a way to support my own learning, because sometimes in order to learn, you also have to teach, and the best is a sense of mutuality there. So it was to support my own teaching, but also that I realized that this is something that I practiced for quite some time, and I can contribute. So intention is contribution, and it's to learn. It's like a curiosity behind it, and there is also a connection and a community aspect to it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I love what you named, that to deepen the learning, to share what you have learned. I mean, this is such a valuable thing to do, and to have this mutuality. And you are talking about in the workshop that is going to happen on Monday already,
yes,
at 4:30 Central European Time, Monday the 7th of March. The title is Against Empathy, with a question sign. So what is it about? What's going to happen? If some people are interested, what can they expect, or what?
Yeah. So first of all, I call it a workshop. So it's a space for both learning and a little bit of sharing of ideas and testing out different and naming some experiences and try to learn from that. And the title, Against Empathy, it's when I started to know about NVC, and I joined an empathy group, and I also started with friends who I knew already and were into NVC. I got to experience, that how great it feels to really be heard by someone who just listened to you without trying to judge, without trying to fix you, without trying to kind of cheer you up, but just being there. So this is my understanding of empathy. And also this is what people mean, I think, when they talk about, I went to the dentist, but it was great because it was a very empathetic dentist, or I met with this doctor, and so on. So that is what we mean, to be respectfully heard and held by someone. But then I started to look about literature about empathy and read about empathy everywhere. It's such a word, you just started to look for it. then I found there was a book coming out even called Against Empathy, and other people kind of warned against this. And I started to wonder why is this? How can they be against this? So I really realized that in the language, there are so many different uses for the word of empathy. And historically, it's meant different things. And it's in our everyday language, it's very hard to distinguish from empathy and sympathy and compassion. And what does it all mean? So this is what I want to see more clarity about. So what do we actually mean? And how can we kind of communicate that to people who might be using this word in a different way? And how can we understand that? Why would somebody write a book called Against Empathy? Is it just because they mean something different? And I think, spoiler alert, it's part of the reason. Why? Because they do mean something different. It's more this kind of blending of feelings that sometimes psychologists calls emotional contagion or affective empathy. So it's like, but that's not what we mean when you see a doctor and I'm sad and the doctor also is sad, or I'm afraid, the doctor is also afraid. That's not what we mean with empathy, but it's there in the language. And also, I think there is something else to be learned, that in empathy, there might be a resistance. If we offer empathy, we also ask somebody to be very vulnerable, to kind of maybe disclose some very personal information, to put themselves at mercy, you know, in a way. So there has to be a safe space, there has to be a trust and a time, physical, emotional safety for this, and some energy conservation is aspect there as well. So that might be another reason why I was organizing a workshop around empathy, and there was a reaction. This is, you know, women's way of, you know, shaming men. You know, this is what I heard. You know that. So there might be, whether it's a man or not, it might be some shame or vulnerability from the fact that someone thinks that I'm not good with emotions. I cannot handle emotions. Here comes those who are experienced with emotions. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. So how can we just create a space that takes into account, you know, this vulnerability and this needs for understanding and mutuality and safety and so on.
Yeah,
it's a little bit about that.
Great. I mean, it's so important. It's so important to clarify and to also see. Yeah, I like that you really took in the discourses that are happening, and also the misunderstandings or the different understandings, maybe different perspectives. It's just not the way that, yeah, like, I don't know what to say, but and we see how it is meant, how to be there. But still, also, I guess, also in NVC world, there is some different approach and maybe some nuances that can be.
I think so, and I think it might be also a difference what we are trying to do, like empathy as a need or as a skill might be a little bit different from the empathy in the wild. So maybe in the wild, empathy is sometimes mixed with other things. So it's also important to note that what we are striving for is maybe not exactly what people actually meet, you know. So
it's very important. And also, like, I had just a conversation a few days ago about compassion and empathy, and it's really like, and where's the action? So like, there's so many things that needs to be taken into account. What space do we hold? What is the space? What is needed in the situation? What does the relationship need? What does the person need? What is really supportive? What is not empowering? It's empowering and not overpowering or underpowering, and it can be very much related. How we understand empathy.
This is very important. I think that's a thing that many people raise, that you know, something else is needed. Maybe action is needed or protection is needed, and I think that the question is then, can empathy grow? I mean, because some people point out that we have easier to empathize with those who are similar to us. So there's a danger there that just because someone is not like us, it's harder to empathize. But then the hope, I think, is that if we see this as a thing that can be trained, then we can expand this circle of empathy, and that this might be the way to go about, and not only say, no, we shouldn't use empathy because it's not trustworthy, you know. Yeah.
I say one more thing because it's really
Yeah.
inspiring already, but I mean, the thing for me is really about, if we go for social change, why nonviolent communication is there and in the core, then it's something to learn to be able to be in empathy with people we don't agree, where there's the hardest, where we don't agree, and that we can stand and we can don't agree and still be there and have a posture of, but I want to get you. And I know that it's not that if we go deeper on a much deeper level, we will meet somewhere. Yeah, so that's the thing. And also I heard, like, yeah, empathy is when you're really in empathy, you're just empty. Then there's emptiness, and then there's no intention, no no wish for outcome, no nothing. I mean, there's emptiness. Yes. And this is really a hard place to go, I guess. I mean, at least for me, I can talk.
Yeah, I guess we will have a lot of discussions around this. How much can you pair it with other things, and to which extent do you have to kind of put your own needs on the shelf, or how much can you also whereas some other people would say that there is always some little element of sympathy there, because you took the decision to sit there with this person after all. So I don't know. We will surely have a great discussion.
Yeah, I guess so. I might join now.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah. So for everyone who wants to join Gabriel and the discussion, the discourse, and also have some sharing time and some experiencing the topic, you can register at empathiceurope.com. There you can register for all the workshops, and then you get also the link for the Monday workshop with Gabriel. And I want to ask you also if people want to stay in contact with you beyond Time for Empathy, because you also give workshops, right, in your area. Maybe some people want to stay in contact and learn about what you are sharing. How is it possible? How can they connect to you?
Oh yeah, that's a good question, because there's new things, new ways coming around that's not really there right now. So probably I would just put something on, let's say, maybe my Twitter, a link or something, for you. So it's just my Twitter account is just Gabriel Stille without anything else, just like my name over there.
We will post the link in to the video. Yes. Okay, so you can stay in contact with Gabriel over his Twitter account, and can come on Monday. I've got already the date, the 7th of March at 4:30 Central European Time. See you there. Thank you so much, Gabriel.
Thank you.